I have on the phone Cynthia Tabe, and we're going to talk about real issues in PR, especially UK and African PR, because that's in its own little sub-genre of what we do.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into some real conversations because, Cynthia, I don't do interviews anymore. I only do real conversations. And what we were just talking about, and what I said is, in public relations, you live and die by your connections. And I know last year around this time, I invited you to the czar group, and you were talking about being an urban czar and the differences between urban czar and the regular czar group, especially around us black folks. That's what urban means. Tell me your...
Oh no. I mean, there isn't really any difference in the urban czar. It's still the same. But I think it must be to do, I don't know if it's to do with us here in London. It must be. I mean, yeah, the urban czar is still the same as the czar group. I mean, you post and you still get, you get people wanting to help and everything and chip in and give you idea and whatnot. Yeah.
Okay. And that's why I like the czar group. People who come to the czar group, it's really supposed to be publicists who like publicists. And the one thing I find with, the few of us that do traditional, I guess, African PR are black, it's, people are hanging on to their contacts like they are Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
And we wonder why our clients don't grow, we don't grow, because I have a motto, and I made it a hashtag, and it's with unity we all win. Because without it, we don't go anywhere. So can you tell the people kind of just your experience with dealing with African, especially Cameroonian PR, and the difference between when you're in London or when you're in the States, because you're all over?
Yeah, well, if I want to start with the Cameroonian PR scene, really, I can't even say much on it because we really have one as such. The fact that we have the French speaking and the English speaking side, there is like I don't even know how to put it. There isn't a connection. There isn't a connection, and in terms of PR, it's really a concept that is, I mean, should I say growing? But it's still very babyish. I mean, I've been doing it for a while, and I'm waiting for a time where I can really say, oh, this has exploded, or this is really about to explode. But I can't even foresee when that will be, because I expected it to have happened by now, but it's still slowly. But then that's got to do with all all that's happening in Cameroon in terms of, we don't really have a structured entertainment industry. Nothing is really structured. So, I mean, the PR side it hasn't grown because we don't have anything structured. I mean, in terms of business brands in Cameroon, they rely a lot on advertising. So, that is their main focus. On the other side, the PR is okay here and there, but not even used. I would say it's not even utilized in its full potential. But in the entertainment side, which is where I work, because I do entertainment and the lifestyle side, it's so, I would say it's still non-existent, even though it may be there, but it's not to the level that it should be. So there's really, it's really problematic, because you are, you can say that you're doing PR, but you're not really fully doing it because, one, people don't really understand what you're doing, and when people don't understand what you're doing, they don't really want to pay you to do it. And you cannot be working for free. And when I started that, I did it because of that, because I wanted people to see what the benefits of PR. And in Cameroon, they say, Cameroonians, before they want to fully trust you, they've got to see what you can do. You cannot just say, I can do this. Okay, show us. That's what they want. So I started out doing a lot of things for free. And I thought, okay, I've established myself. People know me as a PR guru, as a PR queen, so I cannot do this anymore. That was when I was starting out, and I wanted to get my name out, within the Cameroonian circle. But I can't do this. I can't keep doing this anymore because, as you know, PR takes time. I mean, there's a lot of work in it. It's not something that you can do quick. I mean, if you're really, into, giving your all, satisfying your clients and giving out your best, PR is not, it's time consuming. So that said, the PR industry in Cameroon is still non-existent in my book. And I'm not sure when it's going to change. I really do not know. I cannot even forecast because everything is so slow and unstructured. In terms of London, I'm trying now to get myself out within the London PR industry because I was focusing a lot within the Cameroonian community because I really wanted to have my niche, create my own niche and just focus on that. So now I'm starting to put myself out within the Black PR community in London, and I'm finding a little bit of that everybody just wants to work in their own corner. I mean, I'm not seeing like what is in the SAR group. I'm not seeing that energy. I'm not seeing that togetherness. I'm not seeing that let's collaborate. I mean, if you share your contact with me, if you share that one media contact with me, does not mean you're not going to get your client a good media story in a good get your client your client's media story in a good publication or online magazine. You sharing your contact with me means I can also do something for we all benefit. If I have it as well and you need it, I will share it with you. What's wrong with sharing? At the end of the day, you're all benefiting because really, you as a PR person, even if you have staff, let's say three other people working for you, there are so many brands and the market is huge. You cannot handle everybody. So, like you say, you share and everybody wins. That's what really pushed me out to start PR-TIST because I thought, okay, I'm enjoying this fantastic friendship and togetherness in these online groups and, with these people from the States. Why am I not seeing that, especially among the black side? There is another group that somebody put me onto, which is, the mainstream PR group for freelancers. And I still see that sort of help and share and, tips and stuff going on around there. But I'm thinking, okay, so what about the black community? What about the black people who are doing PR? I don't think I'm seeing that. I'm not seeing the friendship. I'm not seeing the sharing. I'm not seeing that. I just think all I'm seeing is people, just doing things on their own, in their own corner. And even there's another PR girl who is part of PRCHATAFRICA called Ronki. She made the same statement, saying, everybody's in their own, their own section doing their own thing. It's like, okay, let's collaborate. Let's make this thing huge. We will all benefit from it if we all work together. I'm not your client because everybody has their niche. Everybody has what they can do. And if your clients trust you because, they're with you because they trust you. Because really, they did not trust you, they can find another PR person. You know what I mean?
It's so true, and I think, some people treat their clients like their girlfriends or wives, and if I could ever steal your girlfriend or wife, she wasn't yours to begin with. So,
I like that.
Yeah, so I tell people, just, you have to be open. But you had, someone brilliant from Cameroon had said something one time. You may remember this, but this is a quote. They said, Cameroon has a lot of talent, but lacks packaging. Do you remember who said that?
Yes, they do. They do lack packaging. They do.
Do you remember who said that? I'm stealing your quote right now.
Sorry?
I said, you remember who said that? Because I'm stealing
your quote. I'm not sure who said that. I'm not sure exactly who said that, but it's definitely something that's there. It's so you can see it.
Cynthia, that was you. I'm quoting you.
Oh, was it me? I said it. I can't remember.
I read that on a blog, and it quoted you. So I'm stealing. I want you to know, when you go back, you'll say he stole my quote. I'm letting you know I stole your quote, and I'll be using it from now on. Yes. But let me ask you this: once you established yourself, because you've had some big names in the PR in entertainment, once you establish yourself, is it that they don't know what PR does, or they just don't respect it? Because once you get all this coverage for them, why do they not pay you?
Okay, I mean, the ones that I've been working with do understand, and that's why I work with them. But you can, in PR, you cannot have 1, 2, 3 clients. You need, even if they're not permanent, you need people coming, you need the permanent and the temporary, the people that are coming and going. 1 or 2 clients will not sustain your business. And in Cameroon, I mean, like I said, the ones that I'm working with understand. Like, for example, Stanley, I've been working with him from the get-go. And he truly understands what PR is because he has a communication degree. So he knows the value of it. But, for the majority or those out there that don't know it, they're just getting by. They just hit and miss it. On the other hand, I can't really blame them. Why? Because, as I said, that nothing is really structured, especially on the entertainment side of Cameroon. Means they're not really making money. There's just a few of them, the really good ones, the ones that manage to push themselves up by their own self, really, in terms of self-financing. They're the ones that, with the tours and everything, they start to make money. But if you haven't really managed to, and you're still an up and coming, which most of them are up and coming, either you have an investor who's going to invest their money to get to get you all packaged up and ready to go, and sustaining you. But even I've seen some investors, they would rather use their own circle of people that they know to handle everything.
And I think that's a very important thing for people who want to come into this industry, and especially focus on the African talent, because those of us who've been in it over a decade, we know just because your client is in a Rolls Royce or a private plane or some fancy house does not mean that they own it or can afford it, even if they live in it. I mean, we can look at someone like Soulja Boy, but who rents constantly, but he's not the only one. I mean, 90% of these people don't really know how to even manage their money from whatever market, U.S., Africa, whatever. And so I think, for us older PR folks, I'm a PR guy is what I say, but I'm also a consultant because I can help somebody with the 5, the 10, the 15-year plan. And I think for us that have been in it a while, we have to put ourselves out there as, almost we're business managers and consultants, because we're going to do so much more. Anybody can go on social media right now. Almost anybody can write a press release. But the reason why you pay a Cynthia, or you come over to a CPRfirm.com is because you want that expertise of not just relationships, but what to do after. Let me ask you, though, you also have Vault magazine. Can you tell us about Vault and what's happening with Vault? Because you had a big feature where you had Irene Major, the billionaire model, in there.
The queen of press. She's a doll. She's a darling. Yes.
Yes, talk about that, please.
So, Vogue magazine, I started it in November 2015. I mean, the idea was that, sometimes I just sit down and I there are things that I think, I wish there was this so that I could read, or I wish there was, and I felt like, we have magazines in Cameroon, and, sometimes it's hard to get your hands on a copy because, you don't see it, it's not readily available. So I thought, okay, I really I wish I could find, just I don't want a fat, a big, magazine with loads of pages. I just want something that, when you're relaxing, you just want to flick through, short text, loads of great pictures, and just, something inspiring, something that can inspire you and just give you some of it, what's happening out there that, in a concise manner. And I thought, okay, if this is what I want and I'm not seeing it, maybe I can create it. I mean, I have a passion for visuals, I have a passion for creative visuals and, just detailing. So I thought, okay, I'll just put that together. I mean, if it's going to be a few pages, I can handle that. So I don't really have a staff. I just have people who contribute, if they want. I mean, I work on my own, really. So I started that November 2015 with the first issue, which featured the president's daughter, Brenda Dia. I mean, I was taking to Brenda. I took to Brenda because I found her when she was on social media. I think she's no longer on social media. I found her to be very normal, like a normal kid. She's the president of Cameroon's, daughter. So I thought I wanted to show that side of her, a normal teenager doing teenage things. So I started off with her on cover, and that had a positive review. I had so many people click and read. I think I had over 1,000 reads,
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, okay, I didn't want to keep the magazine monthly because it was a lot of work, and obviously I have my PR and other things that I do. So I thought, okay, I'll just keep it every 3 months, quarterly. So that's what I did. So the next issue was February time, and I wanted to portray love because obviously February 14th is love, and we know February is all lovey-dovey. And I approached Cameroonian footballer who was playing for West Ham at the time. Well, he was a Barcelona player playing for West Ham. His name is Alex Song. So I approached his wife saying, okay, I have a magazine and I would like to include you on my next cover. Would you be interested? She said, oh yes. She was very, very cool. I mean, I was so shocked and surprised at, the way she handled everything. She was so cool. We had the questions and, the images and everything. And then, I went on and did it. So we had them on cover and then as a feature story. So I always have, whoever is on my cover is like my profile story, So I did that, and then we had a third issue which featured Davido. Again, I wanted to portray him, I wanted to show him as normal, even though, you sometimes read the negative things that he does and, social media goes wild. I wanted to show him as normal and also a loving father. And that's what caught my attention because I was very, very taken aback, by the way that he received his fatherhood, should I say, how to receive it. He was so hands-on. And for a his early 20s, for a young boy, I was very, very surprised and shocked, but in a good way. I thought, wow. He was so hands-on, with his daughter. It's like he fell in love with his daughter and he was prepared to do everything for that child. And that, to me, really, really, I think Davido actually won me over by those actions, what he was doing for his kid, posting the child and the loving words. We all know that that's what the child needs, despite the fact that he's not with the child's mother, but he was there taking full control of the child. And so I wanted to portray them, and I got in touch with a friend who knows them, and she put me in contact with his manager, and that's how it all came about. And we had him on the cover and had a profile of him in the third issue. And then I took a break because I was so exhausted from traveling and doing everything. I thought, okay, I'm not sure what I wanted to do next, who I wanted to put on next, so I'm just going to take a break and see what happens. And then Irene, popped up, and she just fit because I was thinking, okay, December's coming, maybe we could have a Christmas feature. And she fit the giving theme because, she, people see her as extravagant and, she lives in the castle. She has, had a handbag collection that's worth over £500,000. She wears all these expensive things. But people don't know how much, she does, how much she gives, and until you know her. I mean, when the day we spent with her, shooting and stuff, I kind of even connected with her even more. You can see how real a person is when you spend some time with them, because you can't really fake it. You could see that she was very, very loyal and very, very, soft, and even the things she was saying, the advice and everything, you could just tell that this is a normal person, forget about all the things online, forget about her lifestyle. I mean, God has blessed her. She said that, God has blessed her, and she feels that the blessing that she received from God, she's meant to give back. And, she won me over. She truly won me over. Prior to that, I didn't really know her. But, after that, it's like she's my sister now. We're like, sisters because of the way that, she was and I was. And we were during the shoot. It was, last week was her last daughter's christening or baptism, and we were there. So she invited me and my family. So, we went out. I went to just give her the support that she needed. So that's how it is now. So yeah. So Vogue magazine is a quarterly digital magazine. It's online, and we cover fashion, travel, lifestyle, trends, beauty tips, and we profile somebody in entertainment or business. So, I try to keep it African or black themed so that I can show the goodness, the good side of Africa as well. I don't just want to, I don't just want to put anyone the theme is to show the good side of Africa. And, so it's really a black, orientated magazine. So I say Vogue magazine, with Vogue magazine you have fun, fashionable features. That's what I say.
And it's a beautiful magazine, and people can download it, and it's
exactly
all for free. I'm sure people whenever you create something like this though, because I've created magazines before, it's always someone who will ask you something like, well, how can I buy it in the store? And it's like, if you could buy it in the store, you'd bypass it for something else. So enjoy that it's free and that you can see it. And if you need to download
it's free. Exactly. It's free. You can download it. If somebody wanted a physical copy, though, I can, they can pay for it, and I can send them the copy. But if they, want to download it freely on issue, then they can.
Now I'm going to get into some more detailed. You may see them as difficult questions, but they're not, because I just want the pure honesty.
Well, I may just use the no comments.
and that's fine, and that is everyone's right. But I also want you to talk about, you are the first PR person that had their own boutique that I know of, and I know a lot of people. So I want you to talk about your boutique and what the past and what the present is going to be for the boutique, because you're more than just PR. You are a PR-TIST, we call it, a PR-TIST, an artist. So
yeah, I'm interested in fashion. I love fashion, I love beauty, I love lifestyle. So all the things that I do fall under the same bucket. I don't really deviate. I do the same thing under the same, like a theme. So I also thought, I love fashion, and I love buying, I love shopping, I love picking out little things that are not maybe people cannot find or whatever. When you go out, you want to look for little odd things and stuff. So I started shopping, and I thought, I have a space in Douala, let me turn it into a boutique. And that's what I did. I turned it into a boutique wardrobe, because, the idea for wardrobe was a rental. But however, again, going back to the entertainment in Cameroon, there is no structure. And because people are not really making money, people do not want to rent. And again, because in Cameroon they have a certain way of doing things, and nobody wants to wear what someone else has worn. Especially, you know how with all this social media and stuff, posting it and stuff, it's like, they don't want to be seen in what someone else has worn. Even though you explain to them that I can take this dress, for example, and give it to 4, 5 different people, 5 different girls. The way they wear it will be different each time, because you'll wear it with a different pair of shoes, your makeup will be different, your hair will be different, your lipstick will be different, your accessorizing will be different. So it is, in theory, it's a different dress. Because I will not take a dress and wear it, you will not take a dress and wear it the same way that I've worn it. You will have your own style, which you have to inject into that dress to make that dress how you want it. But they still did not understand. So I thought, okay, I have all these things that I had bought for rental, for, video shoots and people going on, maybe media tours and stuff. And if no one's renting it, I have to, do something with it, because I cannot just keep it. So I opened the boutique and, to sell them. So the boutique was, people loved it. I wanted to create wardrobe, somewhere where it was comfortable, and not very strict, somewhere where you could come in and you could feel comfortable and feel like, you're in your own room, just laying back, choosing what you want to wear. That's what I wanted. So it was just an all white space, clean and what should I say? And inviting.
Now,
it was an inviting space.
I want to ask you. You said you just had this space because there's a lot of people coming, getting into the African market, especially from China. Was this a space gifted to you? Was this a space that was a family?
No, it was a space. No, a space that I was renting. So I had an office. Mm-hmm. It was an office space, and I had more space because I was renting a whole apartment, and I was using as the office. So I had space, which I thought, okay, I could turn this into a boutique. One part was a boutique, and then we had the office in another space. So that's what I did. So that, when people came in, if we had visitors or whatever, and people could come in, when they come in, the boutique is there, and they could actually look around, something to do as well.
And this is all while you're still living in London?
Yes, exactly. So, I had someone there, I had a staff or two, who were there, manning it, and, they were more, because I needed somebody who would be more involved with the Cameroon. I say if there's anything happening, they can handle it. I can handle things virtually and stuff, but sometimes you need your presence, so you need to be there. So that's why I needed people. So I thought, okay, if they're already there, the boutique, would just run itself, with them there, and yeah. So for a while, we did that, and I really wanted it to be, I really had some more ideas to add into the boutique, but being over here, you can't really do stuff virtually, because initially I thought I would have moved back by then, and that's why I was putting everything in place, but it didn't work out that way. So what I decided to do was, okay, since I'm not there to handle it the way that I would like to, because I have my own ideas and I have my own thing, and with Cameroon, you need to take it. You need to be on the faces of your target market. You need to constantly do things to attract them, because they will not come to you. You need to put things in place that will bring them to you. And because I wasn't there, I thought, okay, this is not how I want it, and what I'm going to do is take it virtually, so that, and bring it, take everything online and have everything with me so that I can run it the way that I want. So the next step for wardrobe would be, an online boutique. So now I just need to look for time to go to Cameroon, and that's what's holding me back, because I need to schedule some time, but I have all these things to do, and all my traveling that I've booked, because I also love travel. I've been bitten by the travel bug. So I'm always going, to different places just to to see what's happening there, check out, the cities and the culture and whatnot, the lifestyle. So now, I need to find time and book the Cameroon trip. But for now, I'm not sure when. So that's what's happening, wardrobe.
And we could do a whole different podcast video on why you need to be there to do business in Cameroon.
Exactly, we could.
And I'm going to bother you about that later on because, but I'm going to prep you so you know exactly what I'm going to say because that can go on and on because I've heard that from so many. But with the fashion boutique and the PR, I mean, you have so many things going on. You still find time to do things like the Fashion Africa Conference. Talk about that. What that's about.
The Fashion Africa Conference was it's an annual conference that's held in London by Africa Fashion Guide. And it's all about fashion, fashion in Africa, how to improve what's happening, and also textiles and the design part, and also the technology, how it's influencing it, and also the hotspots. So this last year I had the honor to be on one of the panel, and I was so excited because when Jacqueline contacted me, I was actually, I think, on holiday. And I definitely said, yes, I would love to do it because, I get to be out there and I had never done a panel. I had never been on a panel before. It was a bit, I did feel nervous, but at the same time excited and very excited. So it was a one-day event and it was held here in London and it was so well done. I mean, Jacqueline, she's a pro. I think that was the fifth edition, so she really knows what she's doing. And we just, had talks and, questions, Q&A, during the panel sessions. And it went really, really well. I met some fantastic people. I mean, there were even people from, what's it called? I've forgotten the wax company in Netherlands. I've forgotten what they're called. I mean, they were also talking, about what they're doing in Africa and everything. And it was really great. It was some very, very interesting people. And there's so much happening in the African fashion world. And I was really, really excited to be part of it. So I think the next one is scheduled for this May, which I may also try to attend, actually, because I think it's in a weekend. So that was it. But African Fashion Guide is doing a fantastic job, headed by Jacqueline Shaw.
Okay. And if we can go back to music real quick. With the African artists not understanding PR, which I always have this conversation, especially with my team and even people who are seeking PR, because I think a PR professional should be a teacher first.
Exactly.
And one thing about when you go to school and you're going to be taught, you're not going to understand everything in the syllabus. But can you kind of give a guide to African artists especially on what you think they should be paying per month for effective PR? Because, and I wanted you to give a guide because people always say, well, what's the price? But usually, 9 out of 10 times, the PR professional for someone who's just starting off, they're going to it's going to be too much. And I tell people we're similar to plumbers, where we come in and we unclog everything. And you never ask the plumber, hey, can you make that, 75% cheaper? So what do you think a good price is for an African company or an artist to pay per month?
I mean, for a company, they have the money, so they should be paying, what you're worth. For an African, or I would say Cameroonian, because I cannot term it African, because in different parts of Africa, things work differently. Take, for example, Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa. Things there are structured. Even in Kenya, things there are more structured than I would say Cameroon. So if I'm going to be speaking, I'm going to be speaking from a Cameroonian point of view. And in Cameroon, things are unstructured. artists are not making money. Only a few, I can count only a few that I think are, and it's very difficult. And I do understand, like I said before, I do understand they're kind of like in a, catch-22, because I'm sure most of them would like to have someone handle, they stuff, handle their, their image, handle their promo, handle everything that's, public and media related, so that they can concentrate on actually making music, which is, that is their job. Their job is not to, promote after they've made it, because really, what time do you have to, go to the studio, record, shoot a video, and, and then promote it, and then go to the media tour, and, you don't have all that time. So really, I'm sure they would love to hand it over, but they can't afford it. So in terms of, what can the Cameroonian artists afford, it will be relative to where they are in their artist life. I mean, somebody who's starting out, even if you tell them, okay, pay me, let's say 50,000 a month is not even that much. It's not that much at all. 50,000 a month, I'm not sure about the exchange rate at the moment, but let's just put it as, let's say, $75 or something, or maybe £70. That is not that much, but, most of them will not be able to afford it because they don't have anything coming in. They don't have anything coming in. And most of them are also like students who, love music and want to get into the music industry.
Okay, then let's get, since I mean, that can be a lot of money for a student, but I know that everybody's not broke. And in America, I think we have similar issues all around the world. I mean, everywhere you go, it's the same story. But people can be working at, McDonald's, and still drive a Mercedes because of credit. We know that's not, that's not, that could be a difference. But are African artists, do they not have the money because the people are not paying for the music?
No, yeah, exactly. Because there are no jobs. It's not like they can get a job in McDonald's and, have money. Most of them are students. They don't have any job. They just go to school, and it's their parents that actually are paying for them to go to school. So, communism, it's a mess. It's a mess because I understand they do not have any income. It's not as if they have student income and stuff like that. They do not have any income. And people buying their music, everybody wants it for free. I mean, if it's put online and people download it, or if you send it to a friend, another friend sends it to a friend, they send it to a friend, and it ends up in a WhatsApp group, everybody's downloaded it. It's a real problem. But then this is it has a lot to do with the structure side. If everything was structured, then artists should be able to collect money from airplay. They should be able to have that money, but do they get it? No.
And we know most of Africa, if not all, still cannot get their YouTube hits, which there's people in the States and in Europe who are making a good amount of money. I know some of them because they partner with an African company, because YouTube refuses to monetize to Africa, which is amazing. But I really want to just throw this so I can see the focus, because I see, like, you go to Joburg or whatnot, all through Johannesburg, there's people who are selling pornography through the city, whatnot, different music. If an African or Cameroonian artist was to do that in the markets, do you see anybody taking that approach, or would they just be clearly wasting their time because very few people are going to buy? Selling their music, saying, "Hey, I'm the best out, blah blah blah. I'll perform for you right here on the street. Give me what you have." Would that be a
no way. They wouldn't do that. I mean, and people wouldn't pay because, like I said, everybody's struggling to get by. So you can't just go to say, I'll perform, give me what you want. I mean, if it's a concert or whatever, if you go to them, a concert actually nowadays is even tough because they pre-select who they want on there. I mean, if you go up and you say, okay, you go to the organizers and say you want to perform and they don't pay you, and you say you rather not get paid, then, they will take up on it, and it's you that's going to lose out because they wouldn't pay you. So you have to take yourself to the concert and perform for free. Is that what you as an artist want? No, because you can't keep performing for free. You need some sort of income. You need money. I mean, how do you even get to the concert?
But
so I don't really see that as I don't really see that option as possible. That they could do that now.
Okay. And
or even just go on the street and say, I'm selling by. No, and there's a lot of bootleg in Cameroon. I mean, a lot of bootleg. Artists take their time to, record their music and stuff like that. And you go to the market and you see knockoffs being sold for less. I mean, again, lack of structure.
Lack of structure and respect, because at the same time, there's promoters who are bringing Americans in to do shows, and those people are
and they're paying them a lot of money, and that's the thing. It's like, okay, the local talent, they're being looked down on, but they'll bring in people, from other parts, and they're being paid a lot of money to get them there, because really, these people, we know how much they earn. We know how much they get paid during the concert. They are not going to change it because, they're coming to Cameroon. They would not lower it. So they're still receiving their money as, wherever they go. They're still going to be paid the same, their same fee. So these people are coming in and they're being paid this, double figures or triple figures or whatever. So what about the local artists? Why wouldn't you pay them that? Nope, not in Cameroon.
So it's a mentality just within the country.
It's a mentality, really. Did you know that it's very hard to appreciate what you have. Like Jesus said, a prophet is never what do you call it?
Respected at home.
Respected in his own home or in his own area. So that's how it is.
Well, it's funny when you talked about promoters not paying people, and forgive me because we were just talking about Jesus and we're all trying to be Jesus-like. But I can only imagine my artists from especially Oakland and New York, promoter don't pay, he doesn't leave that place.
Exactly. Everything's torn down.
It will be it's so funny in certain cities how the streets run things, and it's the reason why I kind of got out of your secular rap, because it can go down any time. I mean, there's times where even Cat Williams got shut down in Oakland. If certain people don't want things to go a certain way, they will shut it down. It's very easy to shut down a party. Detroit is notorious for that. I'm not going to say the players' names, but people know that there's certain people that you actually have to, get a cosign before you come in their city, and that the Cameroon is getting disrespected. The artists are. I would say build a coalition, which is only a segue to my next question. And you may or may not be able to answer this, so if you have no comment, we understand. But will New Bell Music and Motherland have a collaboration anytime soon?
I am not sure. I'm really not sure. I mean, lots of fans would want it. They would really, really want it. But I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? But in life, you can never say never, right? So who knows? Things change, and I mean, we're looking at a new era in Cameroon, especially with the I would say the Anglophone side. There's something going on. So who knows? Things can happen. Anything is possible. And I definitely know that the fans would love it. Or they're praying for this. They would really love it, and because we see comments, we read, their comments and stuff like that, and yeah. So I mean, it's up to the the two artists, and let's see what happens in the future. But yeah.
Okay, well, we definitely know there's going to be some changes in Cameroon because you can't be president for 120 years. And
exactly.
There's going to be change. I'm going to, on that note, end the interview because I want to have you come back and I want to, make sure all the information that the audience, they can only take so much with this. This is an attention deficit disorder generation now. So I'm going to give them some of the jewels you have piece by piece. But I appreciate the time that you took. And, I want everyone in the description box, you'll be able to see the ModeMadisonPR.com website, and they can go follow everything you have going on from that. This is she doesn't do interviews often. I've bothered Miss Cynthia for a while.
Finally, we're here today. I mean, I'm so sorry. I know it's taken actually a few months, and we're finally here today. I mean, there's a reason why we're holding this, and it's been fun actually. So I do apologize, and I hope we can, do this often actually.
Yes, I think it's needed to let people know amongst all of us, especially who have our hearts in Africa and on African business, because it's going to be a shame that when we all do decide to go back to live and then die, that it's going to be foreigners, and it's going to be foreigners who don't have any native roots to Cameroon and the rest of Africa that have already invested in the past 10 or 20 years, and then they're going to say PR, and everyone's going to say yes, 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 and we won't even be able to get our foot in the door because we, again, let outsiders dictate our narrative, and we can't do that. And that's why I think it's important for the artists and the businesses. You may get your money from overseas to start your business, but you need to hire, we're only tools in their whole, piece of a puzzle. But we need to get our messaging right because no one can do that, but it's just in our DNA.
Yep. Exactly.
So with that, I'm going to say on the audience, thank you for listening and bye. And then I'm going to continue talking to Miss Cynthia about some stuff that I can't air just now.
Thank you, guys.